Jasmine Paolini just continues to piss off all the haters and naysayers after defeating Coco Gauff 6-4, 6-2 to claim the Italian Open women's title. Paolini makes history as the first Italian male or female player to win Rome in 40 years since Raffaella Reggi in 1985. Jasmine also returns to her career high of number 4 in the world, bumping defending Roland Garros champion Iga Swiatek to number 5, which has big implications for the year's second major. Hey, I'm Christian Bassnight and welcome to Christian's Court, where I cover tennis from all angles. If you have not yet already, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post my Rome final men's recap analysis video as well. So this was Coco and Jasmine's fourth tour meeting overall. Gauff led the head-to-head 2-1 coming into this match, and Paolini, though she won their most recent meeting in the Stuttgart quarterfinals by a score of 6-4, 6-3. That was last month, but still I sided with Coco to take this match because first I felt that the outdoor Rome day conditions would suit Gauff's game a little bit more, especially compared to the indoor courts in Stuttgart and as well as the nighttime courts in the semifinal against Zhang. Also, I thought that Paolini would come out a little bit shaky and nervous, knowing that there was so much history on the line and trying to win for her country in front of the home crowd. Also, she was playing for her third ever career title and her first 1,000 on clay. The Italian president was also in the crowd too, and she knew that ahead of time, so I thought that was going to be extra nerves for the 29-year-old, but she just came out strong and wasn't nervous seemingly at all. She really rose to the occasion. And Jasmine even said herself after the match that this was her best match of the tournament, and I didn't expect her to play, again, her best tennis this tournament in the most high stakes match. I think Jasmine having confidence from beating Coco just recently in Stuttgart played a role in helping her get a good start. And I think that breaking Coco in the very first game of this match was crucial for Jasmine in helping her settle any nerves, even if she ended up getting broken back that very next game. And it really ended up not mattering because Paolini broke once again for the 2-1 lead, and she would not get broken again until midway through the second set. Gauff didn't even have a break point chance for the rest of the set from this point on, although the 2-3 and 3-4 games were really big missed opportunities. Gauff didn't have break points, but she did have small opportunities to get at least a break back, as a few of those games went to deuce. But when she had a chance to take control, she made some pretty sloppy unforced errors, particularly on that forehand side, and that shot was a big issue too whenever she had a kill shot or whenever she tried to just accelerate and finish the point. I thought the first set still overall was relatively decent quality, even though the stats don't look that good in Coco's favor, as she had 31 unforced errors to 12 winners in the opener. I thought it wasn't that bad from her, and I feel like a lot of those errors were forced from Paolini, to be honest. Now, the second set was a different story, as I can definitively say that there was a poor dip in form from Gauff. The opening game of set 2 really set the tone because Coco hit 2 double faults en route to getting broken. Then they had a tight game the following game where Coco really should have broken, but she kind of flopped with some poor errors. And this is when the wheels really totally came off for Coco as errors began piling up and she went down the double break soon after. And that's when I kind of knew it was curtains for Gauff. Coco did recover though and broke back immediately, but Coco's serve and ground game was simply too shaky to string together consecutive points and of course games. And I think Coco not applying scoreboard pressure hurt her a lot, as she did not even allow Jasmine to kind of feel the moment of claiming this big title. Giving credit to Paolini though, she kept her level high and took home the title in history with relative ease in the end. The stats do not look great for Coco at all. She ended this match with 55 unforced errors, 33 apparently on the forehand side according to Tennis Channel, and this just really tells a lot of the story. Overall, Jasmine was just better from the ground and was also the more solid one on serve. Coco just did not make enough first serves, and thus it was a big struggle for her to hold. Because Coco struggled to get many free or easy points from her serve, much of this match just came down to the ground game. Because also Jasmine, she was serving better, but still it's not like she was acing Coco off the court. Again, a lot of the points were decided from whoever out-rallied and outlasted the other woman from the ground. And Paolini was hands down superior in this regard. Paolini did well to really beat Coco with depth, and she pressured her a lot and even outdid her most of the times in the backhand and backhand rally. And that's something because, of course, Coco is well regarded as having the best backhand on tour among many people, but Paolini, it didn't look like that at all in the final with how Paolini was striking the backhand and drawing a lot of unforced errors from Gauff's backhand, both forced and unforced errors. players. I don't understand when people say that Paolini is a pusher because she was taking so many balls early and applying so much pressure to Gauff, and she particularly beat her down the line so many times. And I was surprised at how much she made Coco pay for some of those shorter shots. Like, she was not playing around at all. I don't think that Gauff had the best game plan coming into this match. I feel like she should have used more of her angle ground strokes to get Paolini pulled wide and then taking advantage of her shorter wingspan. She just was not able to do that enough. And again, got to credit Jasmine for preventing her from doing that a lot with her strong depth. I feel like whenever Coco did do this, though, she had success. Paolini also did a great job of attacking Gauff's second serve, and I think that too pressured Coco into a couple more of those double faults. While on the topic of serving, of course, Coco's first serve just was not there at all, as it was maybe in rounds prior. And it was an issue against Jung as well in the semifinals, but I did expect her to get it together and improve in this regard for this championship. And I just overall expected a level raise in this final, but it did not happen. And I think it could just be a matchup issue here for Coco, and she just might always struggle against Paolini now. And really, that's the proof in the pudding of how much Jasmine has improved, because Gauff did dominate their 2023 meeting from Cincinnati in the quarterfinals, only dropping 5 games. I was pretty surprised by how Jasmine ran away with the match in the end. I was expecting Coco to make the second set much more of a fight, and I do think the crowd played a role, perhaps, in preventing Coco from kind of getting more into the match. The commentators noted this, but Gauff looked pretty subdued out there. She wasn't really firing herself up as much as she was in matches prior when the going got tough, and I think some of that was due to her not wanting to get on the crowd's bad side and just trying to focus on the task at hand, which I understand. And Coco said in her press conference that the crowd did not impact how she played, and she expected the crowd to be like that for Paolini, but still, I do think that maybe even she doesn't realize the impact of the crowd and how it prevented her from showing a little bit more moxie out there. Gauff will, of course, be disappointed with back-to-back finals losses. She, of course, lost in the Madrid finals to Sabalenka, and her finals record, which was formerly 9-1, it's now 9-3. That takes a dent as well. I don't think it's really a finals block because Madrid was about Sabalenka being a step up in class, and then Coco, she was already shaky here in the semifinals against Jung, and she kind of just more or less continued that form. People, I think, are doing a little bit too much and bashing Coco after the loss. I saw quite a few people in the comments of my men's final preview kind of crapping on Coco, and I made no mention really of the women's final at all. They just wanted that excuse to talk about Coco. But again, Gauff is 21 years old. I know so many people are like, stop using the age as an excuse, but I have to say it because she still has a lot more time left. Maybe when she's 26 or so, we can have a more serious conversation. But the fact of the matter is, I think that expectations, really, they need to be curbed and reined in a little bit for Gauff. I feel like people's expectations are a bit high, and that goes for both Coco fanatics and Coco haters. Putting it all out there, Coco will always be compared to Serena Williams, which is unfortunate, but keeping it 100, these are both black women, so they're always going to be compared. I'm not saying it's right. I don't think it should be a comparison, but it's just always going to happen. And considering how Serena isn't that far removed from retirement, we look at how much she dominated a little bit in her prime of her career and winning a lot of titles. And maybe people expect Coco to win or perform to the level that Serena was, but Serena, she's widely regarded as the GOAT. It's comparing apples to oranges. It's really, we shouldn't be comparing. Objectively, Coco had a great clay swing thus far in making back-to-back 1,000 finals. Sabalenka, she lost back-to-back finals last year in Madrid and Rome. Granted, she lost to Iga both times Arena did, and Arena, she did play better than Coco last year. But the point being is that even though Coco lost these finals, and while she might have underperformed a bit in the championship matches, in the past month alone, she's gotten 4 top 10 wins, and she's back to number 2. She should be very happy and proud of herself, and it's a win too that she at least made it to the finals in that custom Miu Miu kit. So all good things for Gauff, really, heading into Roland Garros. Again, I really do think a lot of credit should be given to Jasmine. I don't know if Jasmine was completely unbeatable. I think maybe Sabalenka or Jung could have beaten her. I say Sabalenka because Arena, of course, has the power that Gauff doesn't have to make Paolini uncomfortable consistently. And then with Jung, she has a 4-0 head-to-head record over the Italian. But still, I think that very few people would have been able to beat Jasmine with how well she was playing on Saturday. And again, she continues to silence the critics, and she's making them work even harder to pull out more excuses to kind of diminish her excellent playing. And even before she won this title, like I think after she beat Schneider or after she beat Stearns, one of the two, she received quite a bit of not so positive reception, particularly from tennis Twitter. They were calling her overrated and everything under the sun, just bashing the woman relentlessly. You don't have to like Paolini. I'm not saying that you have to like her, but I feel like you gotta respect her. And she's more than enough proof that her breakout season from last year was not a fluke. I feel like she really proved that in making the Wimbledon finals right after making Roland Garros finals, and too, she won Dubai. But this season, she's done well to back it up, making the semifinals of Miami, Stuttgart, and now Rome. Not to mention, too, even aside from singles, her double success and winning the Olympics gold alongside Sada Irani. She also led the Italian team to the Billie Jean King Cup title. She defended her doubles title here this year in Rome alongside Irani, beating Mertens and Kudermetova in the finals. So really, you just got to give it up to Jasmine. You just got to give her credit and accept in their heart of hearts that Jasmine is here to stay. And again, it's incredible too that she's 29 years old and peaking this late in her career. Again, goes to show that you can still play your best tennis, not in your mid-20s. You can peak later on, even into your 30s. So again, utmost congratulations to Jasmine and her team for this incredible title, and looking forward to seeing what she brings for Roland Garros. On the topic of Paris in the year's second major, there are big implications now from Jasmine's win that impacts Iga Swiatek, as now Swiatek, she will be seeded 5th for Roland Garros. She's the new world number 5 now, which means that she will have to face a top 4 seed in the quarterfinals of the French Open. That will be either Aryna Sabalenka, the world number 1, Coco Gauff, Jessica Pegula, or Jasmine Paolini. I think if I were Iga, I would most want to face Jessica Pegula the most. Pegula hasn't looked that great on the clay since Charleston, and I think that I would rather face Paolini over Gauff if I were Swiatek at least, even though Jasmine, of course, she just won Rome, because I do believe that the head-to-head dynamic has been more shifted in Coco's favor, and I would just favor Coco still in that matchup a little bit more than I would Iga. This by far will be the most open Roland Garros that we've had on the women's side in at least the past 4 years. And it's all because really of Iga. The question is Swiatek still the favorite to win this title? According to the odds makers, she is kind of close neck and neck with Aryna Sabalenka. Iga said herself that she doesn't really expect herself to play better at Roland Garros just because she won the title there the 4 of the last 5 years, as it didn't happen in Rome, where she also was the defending champion. She didn't play that well in Rome either. To me, Sabalenka is going to be the Roland Garros favorite. She won Madrid, made the Stuttgart final, and even though she was outplayed against Zhang in the Rome quarterfinals where she lost, Aryna is just on another level in the slams. You can kind of put her in, pencil her in into making it to the second week of a major. It's been 3 years since she has failed to make a slam quarterfinal, which is incredible. Gauff, I think, is slightly behind Iga maybe in the favorites, but you could argue that Coco is second favorite over Swiatek. I say this because Gauff is in better form compared to Iga, and 2, we can't underestimate Gauff's incredible Roland Garros record. She's never won there, but she's a former finalist from 2022, and she has lost to the eventual champion here in the last 4 years, and this could be her very best shot with Iga not being in great form. I'm not mad with these players that they have here as the favorites, but I think that Jasmine Paolini should be on this list. Like, come on now, she just won Rome. I think she should especially be here over Elena Rybakina, who is very much far off her slam contending form at the moment. She's seeded 12th, which is not great at all, and that means she could play either Iga, Mira, Keys, or Zhang in the 4th round, which I pick all of them, or I favor all of them over Rybakina. I believe Maddie should be a bigger favorite here over Ostapenko. Yelena, while she won Stuttgart, is very unpredictable, and she actually has not made the second week at Roland Garros since she won the title in 2017. We have a few women who are also threats that are not seeded, and that will be Belinda Bencic, Ons Jabeur, Emma Raducanu, Danielle Collins, Naomi Osaka, and above all, Alicia Parks. That is all I have for this video. Let me know what you think about the Rome finals. Were you pleased with the tournament overall? What was your favorite match from Rome? Was it indeed Gauff Zhang? And make sure you comment below who your favorite is for Roland Garros as well. Again, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you are aware of whenever that Alcaraz Center analysis video is up. Thank you all so much for watching and for your support, and I'll see you all next time here on Christian's Court.